right, folks, it's another Friday in the land. In the calendar, it's January 10th. It was January 1st the other day. It's up to our ankles already. I'm Citizen Jones reporting, as it were, for duty. It's a leap year. Today on the program, we'll tell you organized labor gives states January 31st deadline to implement 30,000 naira minimum wage, refuses to extend deadline for negotiation on consequential adjustments. Military and police absent as Southwest launches security outfit Operation Amotekun. Gunmen killed 12 persons in fresh Plateau attack, just as Boko Haram kills 3 soldiers, 8 civilians in Monguno. And later on, we'll share this with you. House of Reps Minority Caucus kicks against a hike in electricity tariff. I'm hanging out with Bola Olajuwon. Bola, you escaped 2019. Good for you.
I escaped?
You know, well, when I was told you survived, I said no until I see you. So you are here.
Yeah,
So you made it.
direct.
No less so, Emeka Madunagu.
Yeah, good evening.
After all what you did last year, you still made it.
Well, I did good.
That is to say, God is still faithful.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay, but let's share a little something with you. Janet Mba Afolabi, our colleague, scored a bull's eye. Janet is the first Ibibio woman to become an Olori. Emeka and yeah. The husband is the king of Akpomu town. I hope I got that right. Akpomu, Osun State, yeah.
Oh, that's good for her.
Janet Sonidemo. Okay. You know, the team is ready. I hope you are, folks. Okay, let's go. You know, whereas organized labor is saying equal work, pay leave, and raising the minimum wage are a desideratum for industrial harmony, elected officials are seemingly stonewalling on the matter. But the Trade Union Congress TUC has given state governments that are yet to implement the 30,000 naira new minimum wage a January 31st ultimatum for compliance or risk industrial action from workers. In addition to this, TUC insists there's no deal on extending the deadline for negotiations on consequential adjustments. Now, do these governors read writings on the wall, Emeka, beginning with you?
Well, I want to believe they do, but the governors have also let us know that the resources available to them cannot cover the minimum wage. And so we have this back and forth. But Labour says that if we look at the devaluation of the naira since the last minimum wage was affected, and between then and now, and a lot of things, VAT has been raised from 5% to 7.5%. A number of developments have come up. So that the money, the 30,000 naira, is more or less of little value. But they are insisting that, the Labour is insisting that they must get their rights, be that as it may. And the interesting thing is that we are already about 2 years behind the constitutional requirement that the minimum wage should be reviewed every 5 years. I think it will be due by next year, 2021. So we are supposed to actually be preparing for another round of negotiations for a new minimum wage by now. Either, coming up next year or coming up 2022. But we are still, we're still on a merry-go-round concerning a process that ought to have been concluded
Long
years
before
ago.
now.
Yeah. I mean, a process that should be up for review, at least midterm review by now. So the governors need to be serious. They need to get serious. Because you see them getting into, bringing up phantom projects, things that have no bearing on the lives of the people. But now you have workers to pay. You have a workforce that you ought to treat properly. That a worker deserves his wages. But what do? You want workers to continue to earn peanuts. And Labour has said they can no longer give the governors any more time because the governors are just buying time. So I think the governors may need to go back to President Muhammadu Buhari to seek a way out, maybe a bailout or special, or maybe a special fund to enable them to pay, because I don't see any way out of this. The NLC says they're not extending the December 31, 2019 deadline. TUC has gone further and said, okay, we're going to extend it to January 31. But after that, no more. So definitely, the nation may be heading for another industrial crisis. I hope that something can be done quickly.
Emeka, except that hope is a name generally given to.
No, because even the president said
you hope.
The president said the new minimum wage should be paid. So it ought to have been paid according to what the president said. It ought to have been paid as of December 31 last year. So, and you know how passionate he is about workers' welfare.
Bola, mine is simply this. There are no desperate situations, but there are desperate, in this case, politicians. Is it deliberate, willful, or what?
Yeah, if you say deliberate, I'm taking it. If you say
willful,
I'm equally taking it. Because, like, you see, we should not be talking of consequential adjustment now. I'm telling you.
We've gone past that.
We've gone past that. Immediately they announced 30,000. People were thinking that, look, the deal had been sealed. Then why is it now that we should be talking of consequential adjustment? And now the governor will be saying we are practicing federalism, that the federal government cannot order them to pay.
But hear this. It's on record. The following states are not agreed on consequential adjustments, namely Ekiti, Cross River, Benue, Gombe, Osun, Sokoto, Oyo, Niger, Ogun, Enugu, I've got Taraba and Anambra states.
Yes. You see, that is the problem with us in this country. Okay, like when they made the announcement, the governors were part of the committee that did it. They agreed. Okay, fine. Then the Labour were part of the people that announced the deal. Oh, we've agreed on 30,000. They didn't talk about consequential adjustment. That means no deal took place. That is the consequence. That is the consequence. And look, I just thought, we should walk our talk beyond just announcing
rhetorics and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at it. Some governors are saying they will pay. Some are saying they won't pay.
6 states have paid.
Yes, 6 states, have paid. Lagos, others led the pack. Fine. But in the case of Oyo, it was even saying that now with what was on grant when it came, he will not be able to pay. That he even emphasized to pay more than 30,000. Okay. Now the issue is this. I think the governors should sit down, talk to presidency, talk to Minister of Finance, talk to National Allocation Commission,
Revenue.
so that Revenue Commission, so that new revenue formula, can be okayed, can be implemented.
All right.
And I said that, sir.
I hope this is okay for your health.
Yes, it's okay.
Because
I said that.
Hope again.
I said that, sir. Look, we should also understand something in this country. That look, people cannot be watching while others are spending the money anyhow. If we cut, our cost, the cost of governance, we can do anything we want to do in this country.
All right. Emeka, I hope it's not more like going back needlessly. 3 times or so, President Buhari had bailed out states. So you are saying, give or take, a lot of cushion would have been effected here. But after the bailout, we are still where we were.
Yeah, it just dovetails into what my colleague just Bola said about
the way the governors have been managing public finance. It leaves much to be desired. You hear about governors, engaging in projects that have no bearing on the lives of the people. And then again, on another edition of Journalist Hangout, we had talked about how outgoing governors, had engaged in reckless recruitment of workers. You see, check every governor, every governor since 1999, at the expiration of his term, those who were there for,
Emeka,
for 4 years
by
or
saying
8
this,
years.
I just recall what I read 2 days ago. One state up north realized, we are just told, over 500 workers are ghosts in 2020.
Well, the issue is this, when you even go to the local government level, it's worse. Where are the workers? You find out some local governments, people just gather once every month. A lot of the work, you just find the local government premises, become so busy, at the end of the month, once allocation comes in, you see a lot of people appear from nowhere, the money is shared and people disappear. So you even want to see some officials of the local government, it's difficult for you to see them unless you come around that time when allocation.
Is it only local government?
Is it,
What
no,
of state
I'm
government?
even talking of.
What of
No,
state
I'm
government?
talking about up north. It's terrible up north, and then you find out that, like I was saying, as I was saying, the outgoing governors engage in this, reckless recruitment of workers. They just create all kinds of departments, all kinds of agencies, and then load their political loyalists, into these agencies without.
And these people are not paid minimum wage. They are paid.
Well, some of them.
Maybe. Okay, I should talk about many governors who are.
No, but they're on the payroll of the state.
The aides are not on minimum wage.
I'm not even talking about the aides.
No, I'm not. But let me rub that in. These are states where aides are in their hundreds, and they are not paid the 30,000 minimum wage, and they are not owed.
They are paid they are not owed. There's no state that owes them. There's no state
that owes
owing a political appointees. No,
because then go say they for constitution.
No, so why not cut down on what goes to these aides so that you can pay workers? Why not look at certain areas? Because the minimum wage is not even enough. So you ought to even add reliefs. There should even be reliefs to cushion the effect of inflation on the minimum wage.
I must praise the Oyo governor. He paid a supposed quote-unquote 13th month.
13th month,
which I think is the plus. Which is saying it is possible. You are not Oyo.
Mr. Jones, let's be realistic. You understand me? Look, those people that started this salary payment is for every week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, let me tell you, in a month, that is 4 weeks is about 28 days. Okay, now the only time that any government and any employer pay the best money is February, which is 28. Okay, the 13th month, those people that came up with the idea of the 13th month, look at it and look. Okay, we have 30 days, we have 31 days.
Let me pause a little. We have Wole here in Lagos. Wole, I greet you. Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir. Are you on the payroll? Have you been paid?
Hello, can you please hear me?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can hear me. Can you hear me too? Okay, welcome. Let's go.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm a retiree.
Okay, you are a retiree? No, he's
Let
in
me
Lagos.
say
We must confirm that.
Let me say this. I think we need to reprioritize whatever we need to do in this country. You see?
Okay.
Take, for example, the governors who has fixed their security vote. Who has fixed their security vote? How many of them have said, okay, we are going to reduce our security vote on the basis of this payment? How many of them have said that?
All right, Wole,
okay.
just do us a little favor here. Wole, just a minute. Can you hear me?
Only for others to suffer unnecessarily. I think that is carelessness on their part, I must say.
All right, thank you, Wole. But gentlemen, we must admit that Lagos, Rivers, Kano, we were told from the first day when it had to do with this minimum wage palaver, could stand on their feet.
Sure.
Lagos, I'm sure, may not be owing Wale. Right, wrong?
He even said that he's a retiree.
Yeah,
I don't know. It may
I'm
be.
not very
I
sure
was
because I
going to
hear
ask him.
retirees also complaining
I was going to ask
about
him.
being old. Yes, even in Lagos State. Even in Lagos State.
Yeah, it would
but,
have
but,
been.
but the issue is this, like he has said, that if governors can cut down on their security votes, I mean, they may say, okay, that they can't do without security votes, but if they can cut down their security votes, cut down on a lot of things, foreign trips, and, you know, okay, look, I'll tell you, the money they spend on hiring jets, private jets, hiring helicopters, the money they spend on, you know, countless foreign trips,
from
going with so
security
many
votes.
aids and all of that. No, all this money comes from
It's
the
our
allocation
money.
to the state.
Eh,
If they
it's
can
citizens'
cut down on
money.
some of these things, if they
I'm
can
not
cut
talking
down
of
some of
Sissy
these
Jones.
things,
All right.
if they can cut down some of these things, you will find out that there will be money. And then the governor should also be creative. You're not in office. You see, governors should realize you're not in office to just pay salaries. Payment of salaries is actually supposed to be a normal procedure
Emeka,
of the pay office.
Let's terminate that here. But you talked about creative. There must be a creative distance between governors and what is not reasonable.
No,
I think
30,000 is actually too poor. It's just $83 at today's
Emeka,
exchange rate.
Let's look at the naira. You know, come on, 30,000.
30,000 naira.
Yeah.
Now, but
If
when I say
they get them, palava no go day.
when I
At
say
least-
governors should be creative, you see, when governors celebrate payment of salaries and pensions,
Yeah, that's
they are elected to do more than that. They are elected for higher
Okay,
goals.
okay, we must move. Yes. We must move. All right, let the debate continue as we always say. But you know, for those who know, the opposite of security is insecurity. And the only way to overcome insecurity is to take risks. The Yoruba country has elected to take the bull by the horns, as they say, but with a few hiccups here and there. A much publicized security outfit, the Operation Amotekun. Amotekun is, in my language, is Ekpe, and that's the leopard. What do you call it in Igbo?
You mean the leopard?
Unanoge leopard. Agu.
Yeah.
Good. So Amotekun was flagged off yesterday in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, without the military and the police in attendance. Now, the well-attended occasion that they say is still subject to debate, still raised doubts and uncertainty in many quarters. This is only natural. There's a demand for a rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty here.
Yeah, it was not just about the police and security. The vigilante group of Nigeria, which has been well trained by the police and the military, they were not in attendance. And so you find out that
And perhaps OPC...
the OPC chieftain, the OPC leader, Ghanaian, was not in attendance and all of that. No, but the fact of the matter is that
Gani Adams is the...
he was represented by our colleague, GKB.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that you already have existing vigilante groups in these states. Like the VGN, Vigilante Group of Nigeria. You also have the Vigilante Service of Ogun State. You have some of these vigilante groups that have actually been interacting with the military, with the police over, some years. And so these groups are apparently not being carried along. Because from what I hear, my interactions with these, established vigilante outfits is that names have been submitted, but not from them. So who are these people? I mean, that's why you see the military and the police saying that they don't want to work with these people because they are not trained. But you see, the military and the police cannot disown members of the existing VGN, VSO because they work together. They give them information. Now, they say they are trying to bring in hunters. They're also trying to bring in palm wine tappers, because those ones climb trees, climb tall palm trees.
And they carry guns.
They see a lot of things.
Okay.
In old folklore, palm wine tappers see.
Yeah, but when they are there, they are armless.
But they see.
I agree.
So, but what we actually want, because from what the governors have told us and said a lot of times, that is for intelligence gathering intelligence from remote areas.
Yeah.
Of course, if you recall, you know that the VGN actually helped in dealing with Bado in Ikorodu and in Ekpe. They helped a lot. They helped the police, they helped the military. And these vigilance groups, you see, like in Ogun State, VSO, the Vigilante Service of Ogun State, is actually doing a lot in securing communities.
Yeah.
VGN is also doing the same thing. So basically, the governors need to fine-tune their strategies, and they need to get their acts right. You also, let me also add, you also have the Nigerian Legion, retired soldiers. So all of this should be put together so that the Operation Amotekun will be successful.
Okay, Amotekun, not
Amotekun.
Amotekun. They call them in Igbo. Which is your state?
Ogun State.
Ogun State. I just talked about it. So how do you react to the Amotekun episode?
You see, the inauguration shouldn't have even take place in the first instance.
Why?
Because the basic nitty-gritty of making it work was not taken into cognizance. Because
Meaning what? Meaning?
Okay, fine. You see, like for the military to say they don't know about the modus operandi of the operation, for police to say that, then even if we are bringing in hunters, you are bringing in tappers, who are they? Who are they? What is their background? Have they done their background check? And it's for the police and the military to do the background check, because these people can as well, be informants for armed robbers. Yeah. You understand me? Because, like, to me, and you see, it seems that the federal government and the IG, they are not in support of the operation in the first instance. You can buy all the weapons, you can buy all the vehicles. What about the cooperation, for information sharing, intelligence gathering, to make
more
it
like
work?
Putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, behind the horse. You see, I thought I was, like immediately I heard that the military, the police were not in support. I said the best thing, to do was not to launch, the operation, but to take care of, the modern issues, not necessarily.
Do you suspect anything, Emeka? Just a minute. Do you suspect anything?
Yes, I suspect.
What do you suspect?
The only thing I suspect, you see, the military, the police, they are always very, how do I say it? They are always very, very careful when you want to take over their job or you want to go to their terrain. The best thing you can do to get their cooperation is to talk to them, to involve them, and to even make them, to be the head of the operation.
Okay.
Because that is their job.
All right.
You can have the money. Look, the federal government or the IG gave the Southwest governor the leeway because of the issue involved, the issue of, kidnappers, cattle, rustlers, and other. That is why, to tame, the issue at that time, that look, you can do it, we can support you. But the issue of support is not open check. It's not an open check.
All right. Emeka, it is very Nigerian to begin to read politics into it. Some folks are saying this is another way of bringing in state police through the back door and so on, and thinking 2023 today, right? Wrong?
No. You see, Nigeria, we like asking for things that are not even necessary.
These things are baby steps. Like, I'll disagree with Bola. These things are baby steps. You can't expect a scheme that was just launched yesterday to have to have everything in place. This thing, that's why I said the government should
besides,
fine
security matters are exclusive matters. It's like, in my side, they say they know they open the stomach of a lion in public because anything could do there.
But in the north, you have the Hisbah police.
Okay.
You remember the Hisbah police some days ago said they arrested a policeman somewhere, is it in Zamfara or so, with some ladies. And they even paraded him. Now, if the Hisbah police can go about breaking bottles of beer, doing all kinds of things, arresting people, and then nobody sees that as a threat to whatever,
so
why should Amotekun now become a threat? You see, let us face facts. Security is a big issue in Nigeria today. There's a lot of insecurity. And we must drill down to the communities. There must be community policing. If the problem is about the name, Western Nigeria Security Network, if people are afraid of that, that can be looked into, that can be tweaked. But for anybody to tell me that this thing that is long overdue should not be in existence, I will strongly disagree with that person.
Emeka,
it should.
the
it is
chairman
okay. Let
of
them go ahead.
The chairman of the NGF, who is also the Ekiti, is saying, no, this is not state police by through the back door. It is an exigency, and we go. You trust him?
Why not? Well, he's a political leader. He's a governor, and I believe he means well. But you see, it is not in the best interest of the nation for the military and the police to say they won't be a part of it, because what you're doing is that you're giving the impetus to the criminals that this operation is actually meant to checkmate. You should reach out to the governors. These governors were elected by their people, and the governors are there to serve the interests of their people. You should reach out to the governors and ask them, as the chief security officers of their states, that please, we are not comfortable with certain aspects of this arrangement. Now, how can we fine-tune it? There should be dialogue instead of just indicating an outright rejection of the scheme. I won't buy that.
But are you shifting grounds?
No. So the issue is this.
No, are you shifting grounds?
I'm not shifting ground. Let me tell you, I support the concept. I support Amotekun 100%. But we should look into the modus operandi in order to bring in the right people. No, see, the issue is that's the major problem we have in this country. We launch operation, we launch project, we launch program without the basic nitty-gritty being taken care of. That is my own thing. That is my own thing. No, see, the issue is this. No, the people that launch state, you understand me? I don't see anything just running out to launch something that will not fly.
No, but
no. Are you saying this will not fly?
Eh?
Are you saying this will not fly?
I'm not saying that it will not fly. If the police refuse, if the police and the military refuse, how will it fly?
The governors will go to court. Because let me tell you, if the same police, they allow Hisba to function in the north, there's a similar
you are getting this wrong. You are getting something. Hisba.
Hold it.
Let me tell you, if you are talking of Hisba, we have penal code, we have Sharia law.
In the criminal code, and the governors, don't the governors have a responsibility to secure their state? You and I, don't we have the power of citizen arrest?
Yes,
they have the power of citizen arrest. It's in the criminal code.
But the issue is, let's do the right thing. The right way.
That's what I'm saying. These are baby steps.
This is confusing.
These are baby steps. They will gradually fine-tune things. But you cannot expect everything to be perfect in the beginning. That's what I'm saying. This is a laudable step. We should encourage the governors. We should not impute politics into everything.
Yoruba man.
This is not about Yoruba.
No. It's about
Okay.
It's about the Southwest.
It's about geographic identity.
Emeka.
All kinds of people live.
He has told you he's from the Southwest.
Yes.
But we have
But
Paul
I live
here.
in the Southwest.
Please, no claim witty. This is not. You can't claim this, please. We have a poll here.
Okay.
Like what?
We have a poll. Am I right? Bob,
Yeah, you are
Bob
right.
is here.
If
Bob,
you
I greet you.
this.
How do you do, sir?
Very fine. It's like you people are not really observing the cause that comes in. You know.
No vex.
It's
No
unfortunate
vex.
that
No,
people doesn't give attention that on cause that comes in.
No worry. No vex.
Not all of us are so rich like that.
No vex.
You should
Let's go.
understand, please. So concerning what
Amotekun.
people are discussing, if we all remember that our president, when he was coming in, he said his priority is to secure the Nigeria first. If security is the first thing any government should listen to or handle, I don't see any reason why people should be kicking against what the Southwest has done.
Yeah.
You understand me? Because this is an issue of life. Yeah. You understand me? If you are touched, you will know the implication of insecurity. It's just because it has not touched you.
Yeah.
If you
All right. He's made his point. Yeah.
See, Susie Jones, look, the major problem we're having in this country on the issue of security is not necessarily because some people are criminal in nature. It's because many people are hungry. They don't have what to eat. I'm telling you the truth. See, while we are providing the necessary equipment for the security agencies to work, we should also look at the stomach of the people. Like what
Which is important.
Which is very important. You understand me? You know, because like we think that what matters to checkmate a criminal is to fire, you know, to subdue them, because the government has the power of violence.
Bola, but I admit that the economic situation in the country is dire, but it doesn't say as many poor people as there are in this country must resort to
criminality.
No. Nobody's saying that.
Yes.
But whereas anything, whatever we do here is to stimulate opinion.
Yes,
Of course. Yes.
So
that's what I say.
And
that's
that's
why
our
I say
job.
there should be dialogue. There should be dialogue.
Hey, you are talking now.
ongoing dialogue.
Hey.
But to say no, but I disagree with you.
They're supposed to
That
have
they
done the
should have
dialogue
they-
before
this-
the launching.
No, but there was a summit
Emeka,
last
this
year.
disagreement
There
is
was a summit
this
last year.
disagreement is the problem.
There's
Make
no
una know-
disagreement.
but you are disagreeing with him.
As a citizen,
Please,
as a
please.
citizen,
I'm saying
as
that.
a citizen,
I'm
tell him,
saying that.
as a citizen.
I believe the governors mean well.
They mean well,
Yes.
and they have not said otherwise.
Yes.
The debate must continue.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
The debate must
That is what we're
continue.
doing here. The
The
debate.
debate must continue. But let's tell you this, still to come, gunmen, talk about insecurity, gunmen killed 12 persons in fresh Plateau attack as Boko Haram kills 3 soldiers and 8 civilians in Monguno, Borno State. You want to stay with us? All right, folks, welcome back. You know, the freewheeling attitude of killer gunmen on the rampage is a slap on our collective psyche. These beasts went on a killing binge in the Mango Council area of Plateau State. Are they cattle rustlers or an organized band of bandits who are bent on keeping the country perpetually on its toes?
Yeah, you see this incident in, was it in Kerang and Kombun communities in Plateau State, you know? It was about cattle rustlers who were on the run after rustling cattle, and they were confronted by youths. Then they just opened fire. Now, that boils down to what we're talking about, the earlier topic, which is the fact that there must be adequate deterrence.
Punish bad behavior.
To make,
Punish bad
deterrence.
behavior.
And then again, government has the power of question. So if there is a seamless connection between the federal, state, and local levels, a lot of these crimes that take place at the grassroots will be checked, will be put in check, and even will be eradicated, because cattle rustling, don't forget when President Buhari came into power in 2015, he actually went to Zamfara State. He went to Zamfara State to launch an operation against cattle rustling and banditry. But the thing got worse. So what it means is not just about deploying soldiers, you know, posting policemen and soldiers. You must involve the local people, and you must train them. You must train them. You cannot say, oh, they are not trained, we don't know them. No. You must train them. You must train them. Train them to be able to gather intelligence for you, to be able to give you information. And then also, like I said in the criminal code, there's provision for citizen arrest. They should also be equipped to a certain extent. They may not carry guns, but they can be equipped to the extent that they can actually aid in the arrest of these criminals. These bandits, they live among the people.
Emeka, sometimes you're wondering, after listening to you religiously, you are wondering if it is too late in the day to effect a citizenship rights campaign. Is it?
It's not. It's not. I mean, it's up to us.
Do Nigerian citizens identify with their rights? Do they know them?
No, there's a growing awareness of rights among Nigerians now. There's a
I'm
growing
not
awareness.
talking about human rights. So.
No, generally, your rights, your responsibilities as a citizen. That is why these things should be taught at the basic education level. You know, little children should be taught
We used
about
to
their
have
rights.
civics.
Yes. I think you have things like, you see have social studies and all this.
Okay.
Children should be taught at the basic education level. People should be taught about their rights, their responsibilities, and duties as citizens. Because many Nigerians don't even know that you have what you call citizen arrest. In the criminal code. That there are, if you go to, you'll be surprised at certain interesting things in the criminal code. So definitely the police should now tell us how it happened that these people were able to, that they were able to kill 12 people. Then you see the other issue about Boko Haram.
Yeah.
When are we going to put an end to this Boko Haram menace?
You know, Bola, you know, this is akin to the last subject we discussed. You can bring Amotekun into it by other means, if you like. Plateau State, one of the hot spots. Are you saying you didn't see this coming? Would you say you didn't see this coming?
Well, I didn't see it coming, and anything can happen in this country. Why anything can happen in this country is that we forget our history. Each time anything happens, and you know, we manage to settle the issue, we just go to sleep. Okay, which is very bad. Now, let's look at it from this perspective. Those people, the government that killed 12 people in Plateau, they are not ghosts.
They are not.
They are not. You see, they live in a community. They move across. It's not that, okay, you leave kilometer 1 to kilometer 2, or how do I say, mile 1 to mile 2, and then you disappear. It's not like that. These people, if you see the way they operate on Okada, they operate on vehicles, you know, and then they move through communities.
Are you not worried about the freewheeling attitude of these people?
Of the people. And now, somebody must have been seeing them when they were moving. And when they were retreating, somebody must have seen them. Now, the issue is now intelligence gathering. The failure of intelligence gathering.
But you must train the people.
We must train the
cannot
people.
Just, like what
And
we're
we
talking about,
continue.
you cannot just expect the people.
It's not even-
Let him exhaust
See,
it.
it's not even a matter of training the people. Education can do it. Continuous education. It's non-stop. Non-stop. You understand me? You tell the people it can be on radio, in people's vernacular.
Makes you want to talk about a national orientation
Orientation.
agency
Yeah.
You know,
across the country
yes, yes.
in the people's language and
Language,
dialect.
You understand me? That is how we can get it. Not necessarily, you know, that we just say that this thing happened today. Okay, we try to settle it. By the time, you know, it manifests again, okay, we counter it. Now, the issue of Boko Haram. Okay, like I said, I know that we have political Boko Haram. You know, we have military Boko Haram, and we also have stomach Boko Haram. Any way you look at it, anyhow you look at it, there's a connection between all of them. Whether they are in three branches, 4 branches, or 5 branches, there is a connection. They are criminals. They are for violence. They don't want to be caught, but they must be caught, they must be arrested, and they must be dealt with. That is my take. Now, look at it again. See, the issue of Boko Haram will always manifest if we fail to check small harms, to checkmate movement of small harm and even bigger harm. You see, we cannot divorce what is happening in places like Libya with what is obtainable in Nigeria.
Emeka, we can rub this in. When Nigeria's borders, not Benin's borders, or Niger or Chad or Cameroon, Nigeria's borders were shut. One of the fallouts is that smuggling of arms across the border points have reduced.
Well, I said to have reduced. You and I don't buy weapons.
We don't deal in
Emeka,
weapons.
the borders have not been opened.
Well,
I'm coming from that premise.
I said to have reduced.
See.
Because where are the criminals getting the weapons which way they are operating?
Oh, you are begging the question. Are you saying you aren't aware that so many small arms and ammunition are already in the country before you shut the borders?
No, that's what I said. You and I don't deal in small arms. So we cannot know whether the supply has reduced.
I am saying, Emeka, you know.
But going to the issue,
Yeah.
to the point, the fact is that the closure of the border has had its own impact on these things, on the movement, you know, on the flow of small arms.
I just threw that in.
But we must take very strong steps to deal with these issues of criminality, because some of these guns can actually be fabricated locally. You have locally made pistols.
Yeah.
You know, some of these things can be fabricated locally. So do they really need to, if there's no supply, I mean, from the usual routes, can these things be fabricated locally? You have blacksmiths who can do these things locally.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about training the people is this. God, there must be deliberate campaigns in these areas, these troubled areas. You see what RRS does in Lagos, the Rapid Response Squad, you know, you find out that when you have conflict in certain areas, they go to those communities and they try to talk to the people to shun violence. They try to talk to the people to be good neighbors. So beyond just running a military campaign, police campaign, the security forces need to get the people to buy in, like what Bola was talking about. Intelligence gathering. You should get the people to be more involved in this campaign. Look at what happened in Monguno. The Boko Haram insurgents, they disguised as a military convoy. And they went killing people. They killed soldiers. There are different accounts. Some said 3 soldiers, some said 20 soldiers. All in all, it is lives that are being lost.
Yeah.
So, and I think Nigeria must actually take this issue beyond what it is. We must have, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that there must be a concerted diplomatic effort to get external help. We cannot just remain helpless.
Yeah, Bola, so we are saying, invariably, he's saying, governors must help us in this regard because in the build-up to elections, guns are employed.
Yes.
And these guns are supplied.
Yes.
These guns are deployed.
Yes.
After elections, after the elections, the guns are not retrieved.
Yes, and the boys, they are jobless. And they must find something to do.
Yeah.
They must, be able to eat. They have bills to pay. And when you have weapon that you can use to do it, you understand me? They will surely employ the weapon, to perpetrate evil and violence. And that is what is manifesting now.
Yeah.
And then another thing is this. See, the Constitution should empower governor as chief security officer to do what is obtainable.
We have a call from Osun State, and it's Akim. I'm right? Am I right?
Yeah,
Akim
by name.
I greet you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Quickly, let's go.
I'm a first-time caller.
All right.
And I really appreciate this program.
Okay then.
But what I want to say about this issue of gunmen and bandits as well is that Nigerians need to be cautious because all these, how am I to put it?
Put it straight.
Okay. What we need to do about this issue is that all Nigerians, we have a lot to do. And one, we know all these people because they are an informant among we Nigerians. And we need to know what to do about them because military, soldiers, everybody are trying all their best, including the JTF as well. But Nigerians, we need to also caution ourselves because if guys don't take it, oh my God, we don't know.
Okay, Akim, the worst never happens. Gentlemen, so in taking this, let's bury it once and for all for time's sake.
Why do the police turn a blind eye when these weapons are being distributed by politicians? Why?
We had always Emeka, we had always talked about scapegoating the police here. They are poorly equipped. You know about this.
And they cannot be everywhere.
They are not very well motivated. Thank goodness Mr. President has approved the recruitment of policemen. Okay.
400,000.
The debate must continue as always. But let me tell you this. We had said repeatedly at this hangout that there were things to do about our economy. 3 of them. They are electricity, more electricity, and much more electricity. Whereas the citizens are battling on epileptic supply system, they talk about a hike in electricity tariff at the same time is something mind-boggling. The minority leader of the House of Reps, Honorable Ndudi Elumelu, says a proposed increase in electricity tariff is a no-no. He has asked the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, to shelve the idea. Is anybody seeing the light?
Ndudi, I mean, for Ndudi Elumelu to have said so, Ndudi has been associated with issues about the power sector for some years. So definitely he knows what he's talking
But
about.
they had problems in the past.
Yeah, well, the nature of Nigerian politics is such that when
So
you
can
try,
trust him on this count.
oh, because he has information.
Okay.
He has information, and the assignment he was given, you know, he was asked to go and take on very powerful people who didn't want certain things. So he brought that into the open. So all kinds of things started flying. But as somebody who had actually investigated the problems of the power sector, I believe Ndudi should tell us more than he has said. He should go straight to the heart of the matter. Because one of the issues, one of the challenges in the power sector, you know, which is being, you know, used to justify this increment, is about collection losses. That so many people are not paying for electricity that's consumed, you know, that they consume. You have theft of electricity, you have illegal connection and all these things.
Electricity not consumed or distributed?
No, consumed. Consumed but not paid for. So it's a problem. And then you have
I
issues.
thought you saw what I meant. But
Oh, well, yeah. But
okay.
you have all these issues. And so I think NEC is trying to help the distribution companies to mitigate these collection losses. But you know, this was an issue when Sam Amadi was chairman, Dr. Sam Amadi was chairman of NEC. He really kicked against the issue of collection losses. And that's still a controversial issue today because the people are saying, what are you talking about helping these discos when they are not even doing what they're supposed to do?
Tell the viewer that the discos had one major responsibility, supplying every consumer with a prepaid meter.
Not just prepaid meter. The discos actually ought to, in many places, the discos actually ought to refund their customers, you know, the cost of purchase of transformers, of cables, of poles, of electrical equipment. Yes, they ought to, because
But are they doing that?
they are not. They are supposed to do that, but they will get to a point where they will do that. Because that is even one issue that people continue to gloss over. You have, you know, many communities put down money, bought transformers, bought all these things. And the discos come, you know, just come in to take, you know, ownership of these things. What you didn't invest in. You've not invested in equipment, you've not invested in transformers.
Where you didn't
Where you didn't sow. So that is even part of the problem. And that is a big problem that they are still going to have to deal with. Because when the people initiate a class action suit, maybe you have like 1 million or 2 million people going to court to say, you must refund us for all these things we have provided. You ought to have provided them. We have provided them. You cannot claim ownership until you refund us the money we spent on these things. Then there will be a revolution in the power sector. But the thing is that, you know, I think government is just in different ways pampering these discos, just allowing them to get away with things. You know, you have areas, there are areas where you see the population is rising.
Emeka, we have been a long time coming because the impression is created that the current government, which in fact inherited these things, are the ones provoking them. But the problems had been there. Bola, but you understand what I'm saying? The problems didn't start yesterday in the power sector.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We had 11 discos. I think the one of the discos in the northeast.
Yeah,
Yola. But the discos are messing up.
Yeah, they are messing up because I don't know.
Did I use the right word?
You used the right word. Okay. Because like nobody has told me how much each disco paid to have, you know, this distribution company to themselves. They are yet to. Because even the president said, immediately he got there, he called all of them. He said, see, you didn't pay for this thing, I will take them over from you if you refuse to perform. What happened? We saw them running excavator to make sure that they deliver to a certain extent. But that delivery is nothing to write home about. Very much nothing to write home about. Because like in my area, in my house, you know.
Which area is this?
In Agudasuru Lere.
Okay.
It was even,
Now big people place.
No. See, no, look at it. It is only my landlord that owns
a prepaid. What happens to the
About
rest of
4
you?
other people. No.
Estimated billing.
We went there to ask them. They told us that they will soon bring it. Up to today, more than 2 years, we are still waiting.
And they're talking of the map, meter acquisition program.
And every now and then, they just bring the bill. When they bring the bill, and you go and meet them and say, please, this thing is too much. They will say, go and pay first.
Well, let me tease Emeka a wee bit. Is it necessarily possible or true that importers of generators are not doing us good?
Yes.
Am I talking at large?
I think by now we should have gone beyond that, because if you own a generator, you're actually also generating power. So I think government
generator
should look at,
importers.
No, that is something I don't agree with, that they're the ones sabotaging the system. I don't agree with that, because I give you an example. You talked about the government, that this government didn't cause it. But you see, the population has increased between 2015 when President Buhari was elected and now the population has increased. So demand for power, more industries have been set up. Demand for power has risen.
They don't take our light. They don't take our light here. So producer says, lights out. So you don't believe him?
Let me tell you what happened.
Quickly, 30 seconds.
Christmas and New Year. They didn't take our light for some days. Each time they took the light, they will bring it. Okay.
But today,
yes,
get light.
yes. Okay. I called my wife. I said, it's better for us to call these people to come and take this light so that
Emeka, please help remove that thread. One thread before.
Hey, thank you.
Make it not appear on TV.
On TV. It's already appearing.
Okay. Yeah, we must go.
Yes,
we must go.
Yes.
But again, everything we do here is simply a process of re-engineering. We're provoking debates, helping to mold opinion. We drop it at the hangout. What you do with whatever we tell you is very key. Let's thank Emeka Madunagu. We'll make it. It's a leap year. We go leap.
Yeah.
And Bola, Olajuwon.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And on behalf of the Backroom Boys who made it through the year, we say thank you for viewing. But just before we go, I want, on behalf of the entire crew of Journalists Hangout, congratulate one more time one of us, Janet Mba Afolabi, who is now an Olori. After the husband, Prince Kayode Adeneko Afolabi, was made the Alakpumu of Akpumi in Osun State. Janet, I go interpret.
We'll understand what you said.
No, tell her to do the husband well.
That's what I just said. Yeah,
that she should do the husband.
Do husband well. Okay, we are out here. But then, if you missed any of this thing you saw now, we have a repeat broadcast built for 11 this evening, and you may also watch the program on other platforms. We'll show you on the screen, and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. The feedback channel remains the same. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.